Hi there, everyone. Game Time, presented by State Farm, is on the air from Atlanta. I'm Matt Weiner. Great to see you out there. Here with Rex Chapman and Stan Van Gundy, a reunion of the 1995-1996 Miami Heat. We'll have more on that a little later. Also, Shaq talks about his other life as a DJ. In the meantime, we're spinning highlights. Game 2 of Paul George's new life as a Clipper with the Hawks in town. There he is.
What is that?
That's
I don't know.
plaid.
Do you think I could pull that off?
No.
Like Garanimal.
It's a lot of plaid. That's what that is. He had 33 in his Clippers debut on Thursday and picked up right where he left off, although he said he wasn't very good Thursday.
Oh, he said it was ugly, he thought. Yeah. But my gosh, I don't know that I've seen a guy come off of surgery, not spend much time with his teammates in live practices and come back more on fire than this guy is.
We should all play so ugly, right?
Yes.
How long do you think it'll take him to find his rhythm?
Yeah.
A few more games?
Look out when that happens.
He looks quick, lean. Man, I'm excited to watch this Clippers team.
And attacking the basket without fear.
Yes.
You know, you sort of worry about how that's going to be when you've had shoulder surgery.
Bullet pass to JaMychal Green, gets it back for the three. How about a little defense from PG? Made his name as an elite two-way player. Trae Young, never saw him coming.
Give me that. And then you got to love this. Oh, give the sugar up to the big man running the floor. What a nice play by Paul.
That's how you make friends with your new teammates, impress your new owner. Steve Ballmer is serene at that point. He just all clapped out.
He's thinking about Kawhi. He's thinking about what this can be.
Well, because his team won by 49. They put up 150 points. That's 2 off the franchise record. They win it by a lot. And the Hawks will wrap up their fight. Paul George is obviously not going to score 30-plus every time he's out there, but this is an unbelievable start for him in Clipper red, white, and blue. What can he mean to this franchise?
Well, maybe he can. Maybe he just needs to play every game in L.A. He scores 30 for L.A. every time he suits up for him, right,
That's a
man?
good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, thank you. No, I think it's going to be exciting. It's what we talked earlier. Stan was saying, you know, once you get Paul, Kawhi, and Pat Bev on this team, forget about the offense. That defense can be smothering, right?
Absolutely. And look, you've got the two best two-way wings in the league on the same team. And then Pat Beverly, we know, is a great defender and an irritant to opponents.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a fun team to play against. And then we know what the Lakers are doing defensively. So like in Atlanta, back-to-back in L.A., not a lot of fun anymore.
No. You know, we always talk about growing pains in chemistry when these stars come together in a new city. What will Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and their teammates have to learn about playing together?
Yeah, that'll take time. It will. We see the Lakers going through it now with Anthony Davis. Just like we said with injuries, what gets you through that while you have time to build is your defense. The Lakers are already the number one defense in the league. The Clippers, I think, can battle them for that when they get all these guys back. That gives you your margin for error in games, that defense, while the chemistry is building, because it'll take time.
Paul and Kawhi have both played as the second best player on their team, the third best, the fourth best, and now, but they both can be the number one guy, I think. And the fact that you saw Paul these last couple of years playing alongside Russell, he can take a back seat. He's not ego like that. So I think it can work really well.
The defense is baked in just because of the players on the roster, and the offensive options with those two guys at the end of games was a lot to think about if you're an opponent in a playoff series, that's for sure. Paul George is the first player with 30-plus in his first 2 games with a new franchise since James Harden, who is in 2019 putting up historically significant scoring numbers so far. Only Wilt has scored more through a dozen games. That's Wilt Chamberlain. And Harden's 160. It's his 7th 40-point game of the season and his 3rd in a row. Here's Mike D'Antoni.
James does what he does.
What does he do?
I killed a lot of trees. Does that sort of give confidence just to other guys that, yeah, it can still be okay? We got that guy.
I would think it would give you confidence. You're playing with a bazooka out there, so I would think. But, you know, we had a lot of guys just stepped up. You know, Chris Clemens, especially in the first half, kept us close. And then we barely got the lead. But he did that. Austin got to the basket a lot. Isaiah plays 30 minutes of good basketball. So there's just a lot of young guys that, you know what, it's their opportunity, and they will make the most of it, and they did.
Isaiah's rebounding. It's what he does.
He is relentless. You know, if he gets his balance straight a little bit, but that'll come. He's still 22 years old, 21 maybe. So he's young. He was good tonight.
Coach Brazi said at half that Chris Clemens has been working for this opportunity since this summer.
Which one's Brazi? He's the slick guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to make sure who it was, yeah.
That he's been working since the summer for this opportunity.
Who?
Chris Clemens.
Yeah.
What is it that you saw from the beginning of him, and how is it to
That he knows what he does, and he's very confident. I think in the rookie interview in Chicago they do before the year, they said, what position do you think you should play? And he goes, well, you got Westbrook and Harden. I guess I'm a 3. And, you know, that's smart. And but, you know, more impressive, and we know he can shoot and all that, but his defense is good, and he works hard, and it was good. He's earned it.
Chris and Isaiah haven't spent a ton of time so far this season, but they have spent some time with the Vipers. How much of a benefit is that to have the GM for them to continue to get run? So when they have opportunities like this, everybody is stepping.
It helps. It helps them keep in shape and all that. It's a different game, completely different. You got to play with James, and down there you're kind of running amok. But it's good to have it. That's why we use it, and keeps them game ready.
So the Rockets get wins on both halves of the back-to-backs this weekend. First at Indy, then at Minnesota. Pretty easy on both counts, and Harden just continues to kill everybody. Has your opinion about the Rockets as a contender changed at all because of this, 13-game stretch?
It really hasn't. And I love Mike. I love what he's doing with this team. I think this is just a unique team, and it's not a team you want to play one game during the regular season. They're hard to prepare for. My frustration with them over the last year or so has been playing playoff games and winning playoff series. They've had success. I just don't know that you can have that type of success, big success, when they don't guard every possession, every play, all season long. You get into the playoffs, and it's going to let you down at some point.
I mean, I would agree. I mean, they've made a little bit of improvement here in the last few games defensively, but they're going to have to be a lot better to contend because the Lakers are already showing they can contend. I mean, that they can defend. They're number 1 in the league. The Clippers haven't performed to that level yet, but they haven't been close to having their guys. You know they're going to defend. Utah is going to defend. Denver is going to defend. How are you going to beat those teams if you're not at least going to be pretty good defensively? And they haven't shown they're willing to get to that level. And then I don't know, as good as Harden is, it's like I think in the playoffs against those great defensive teams we're talking about, with no diversity in your offense, I think they're going to struggle.
Well, and it's the scheming thing, right? It's just like you said. Showing up on a Tuesday in your town when you haven't had a chance to really look them over, as have lost 5 in a row and 7 of their last 8 games. A win that both teams could use, certainly. Portland gets it thanks to 32 from C.J. McCollum, who seems to be rounding back into form after a slow start to the season.
Yeah, C.J. looked a little heavy to me the first month of the season or so, but he looks like he's getting his legs back now. It's good to see him have a good night.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's only shooting 40% coming in and 31 from 3, so that was really good for him.
Meanwhile, also in Texas, the buzzer just went off in Dallas, where the Mavericks have beaten the champs 110-102. So Toronto will head home to face Charlotte on Monday after a 3-2 Western Conference road trip. Doing this again without Kyle Lowry or Serge Ibaka. For Dallas, they get the win. And it's Luka Doncic with 26, 15, 7 assists on the night.